Our guest is Spike Feresten, 8-time Emmy nominee for his work on The Late Show with David Letterman and Seinfeld. He was the host, writer, and executive producer of Talk Show with Spike Feresten, is now executive producer and host of Car Matchmaker. It airs Tuesday at 9 p.m. on the Esquire network. Your name is Michael. Why Spike?
Spike is a nickname I got when I was the receptionist on Saturday Night Live because my hair would stick up. And they came by my desk, Michael Shoemaker, who's now the producer for Seth Meyers' show, said, I'm the only Michael on staff. You're going to be Spike. And I said, just call me whatever you want, just don't fire me.
Let's see, a guy named Spike should like cars. Tell me about Car Matchmaker.
Car Matchmaker is a show where folks from around the United States who are looking to buy a car come to me. They're panicked, as people frequently are with buying a house or a car. And I spend a little time with them, then kind of use my experience as a car guy to recommend 3 cars that will work perfectly in their life. We test drive them unlike a dealership. We drive them like we hate them. We have fun with them, and then at the end they pick out a car that works for them.
I know the True Car Company, which helps people buy new cars.
Yes, that's a website. Right. We're a big fat TV show.
How do people know to contact you? How does that all work?
They all write in, I guess, Relativity, the production company, and we go through and we talk to them. We do a little casting with them, and then we see if the story is interesting enough to tell.
Are you a car freak?
Yeah, I've been that way since I was 2 years old. And been interested since I was a kid. I grew up in a little blue-collar town in Massachusetts, so it was American muscle cars for me. But then went to work for David Letterman, who's kind of a comedy and a car guy, and Jerry Seinfeld. We all know what that guy's up to.
Comedy crazed.
I spin out of there, you know.
He's car nuts, Jerry.
He's out of his mind, yeah. Addicted is probably a better word.
Hey, what is it about cars that fascinates? What is it? Is it the look, the sound, the what?
Gosh, it's a lot of things. I think for me personally, it was a way to drive away from my parents' house. The second I got into this contraption, I could get away from them, and things quieted down. And then nowadays, for me, it's just the driving. I love to drive with my kids and my friends.
How long has Car Matchmaker been on?
We just premiered October 14th.
We have a clip from Car Matchmaker with an interesting guest star. Let's watch.
I have a perfect new test that tests how masculine a convertible is. It's called the Fabio test. Good to see
buddy.
you again.
How you doing?
What I thought we would do with these convertibles is put Fabio in the convertible, turn on this fan, and I want you to tell me and Jason whether you think they're masculine or not.
Okay.
First up, the Chevy Camaro. Go ahead, Fabio, stand up. Not that anybody would drive that way. So what do you think, Fabio?
I think it's a very masculine car. Thumbs up.
Do you often use guest stars? Is that the concept?
It's comedy and it's cars. That test doesn't prove anything. I just wanted to have Fabio on the show. But interestingly enough, turns out Fabio has a 300-strong motorcycle collection. Had no idea. I'm using him kind of as a punchline to on the show, but he's a car guy, motorcycle guy too. And
to find the right car, is it the personality of the person as well?
You know,
that you want to fit the car to?
Something to do with the personality. A lot of times it just has to do with their situation. Do they have kids? Are they married? Are they dating? Are they having trouble dating? Do they care? Do they know nothing? You know, I like to get to the bottom of what's wrong because obviously they're coming to me because something's wrong.
Do you have a favorite car?
I'm partial to Porsches. I like vintage Porsches. I collect them. I also have an old Land Rover from 1970 that I bought for a few $1,000s on eBay, and I'm in love with that, you know, so I can...
What do you think of the Matthew McConaughey commercials for Lincoln?
Well, you know...
I drive an MKS.
I like the truck. You know, I spent some time in Monterey Car Week with Lincoln in the MKC, and I enjoyed the truck a lot. And the ads... They needed that. What Jim Carrey did on SNL.
Hysterical. That was
spot on, perfection. And
you originally went to school to be a musician, right?
Mm-hmm. I did, yeah.
Well, how did you fall into comedy?
Well, it was the musician thing wasn't working out. I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston and thought I was the next Jimi Hendrix. And I think what the feedback the school was telling me was I was the next Tiny Tim, maybe. And the only show at the time I was watching was David Letterman, Late Night with David Letterman. And it was just blowing my mind. And Dave was throwing light bulbs off the roof of a tower. Remember, you did the tower drops, and I had just been kicked out of the dorms for doing the same out of an 8-story window on Mass Ave. And I thought, well, geez, that guy's getting paid by NBC to do what I just got in trouble for. Maybe that's where I need to be. Maybe that's my home. And in short order, a woman wearing the Letterman varsity jacket walked into the bar where I tended bar. And as I was shaking her hand, I said, where did you get the jacket? She goes, my boyfriend works on the show. Can you get me an internship? And she said, I'd be happy to. He's still in love with me. We're broken up, and I'm sure he wants to talk to me. And before you know it, there I go. I'm in.
And how long were you at Letterman?
Oh, gosh, I don't even know. I wrote there from 90 to 95. I know those were the years I was there. And
then you were a receptionist on Saturday Night Live. When was that?
Yeah. Well, that internship was at Saturday Night Live and at Letterman, and that led to a job answering phones at SNL. That was my first paying job in show business.
Dave Letterman is an interesting guy, having been on that show. I haven't been on in a long time, but having been on that show.
I've written many jokes about you on that show.
You told me that. Yeah. You write those
Larry
things.
King's suspenders were one of our great, you just put it right at the end of any sentence and it always got a nice laugh.
Was Dave quirky?
Quirky?
Is he quirky?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you once, I went on his show and he gave me the big introduction. And he always gives a side hug to the guest. And he just said to me, I hate my tie. And we went to the first break, and he went right to, I hate this tie. Why did I wear this tie?
Right.
I said, do you want to change ties? He said, no, it would look awkward if we changed ties.
Right.
He was obsessed.
He was obsessed, right. I find that happens. I mean, I hosted a late night show too, and once you get out there and the lights are on, the cameras are on, there might be something bothering you. I mean, I was trained to kind of tell the audience that. Maybe he was trained, and
tell the guest.
I'm going to tell the guest. He would always, whenever I was an extra on the show, there were always moments where right before we were counting down, he would whisper in my ear, not having a lot of on-camera experience, hey, Spike, don't F this up. And action, So he's funny. He was just a really funny guy to work with.
What do you think of him retiring?
Honestly, it made me a little sad to know he wasn't going to be there. I was kind of caught off guard by it.
I think he's a little sad now, too.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He was my personal kind of entertainment hero, as were you, by the way. And it's a pleasure to meet you, in person. When I was hosting my late night show, I was studying 3 guys on how to interview. It was Larry King, David Letterman, and Howard Stern. And what I really loved about the way you did things is I never really caught you looking down at notes, and you were so great at the interruptions. You knew exactly when to jump in. Yeah, you're doing it with me right now. It's really impressive.
Listen.
Huh?
How to listen.
How to listen. Yeah.
Key of interviewing often is listening is as important as what you're asking.
There you go.
Do good follow-ups. All right. You did your own late night talk show for Fox. You're a very diverse guy. Did you come up with the car idea?
I did. I kind of, I'm at the point in my career where I try to create little great days of work for myself. And the late night show was that. We were 3 years on Fox, and it was a marvelous time. And lately, the 2 spheres of interest for me are comedy and cars. And I put together a show with Ellen Rakuten, Oprah Winfrey's former producer, and we came up with this Car Matchmaker format. And it was something I was doing in normal life. I love to help people find cars. Any car guy kind of likes to do that. And we turned it into a great day of work and a fantastic show where people, I think, are going to learn a lot about the car buying process.
I'm interested in really watching it now. I like the Esquire network.
What do you drive?
I drive an MK3.
Oh, you do?
Lincoln. I'm not into... first of all, I'm not into sports cars. I'm 80 years old. Come on. Well, my wife drives. She drives a car. Mercedes makes only 30 of them sold in the United States. It's 12 cylinders.
SLS?
Yeah, I think that's
AMG?
it.
Yeah.
Wow,
AMG,
that's quite
SLS.
A car.
Wow, you really put out for her, huh?
It's got the paint job. If you nick the car, it costs $2,000 to paint one spot.
Wow, you're husband of the year, Larry. That's an incredible buy for someone.
Yeah.
And it's a monster car to hold on to.
I know. And also, she won't trade it in. It's 5 years old. She won't.
Right.
I said, you want to get a new one? No, I love the way I love the way it's like a piano, the way the inside, the decor.
Well, she's very happy. I can't help people like that who are happy.
It sounds
with
like
their
a car starting up at the Daytona 500.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we love that sound. We absolutely love that
Yeah,
sound.
she does too.
I love that she likes that.
How did you come up with the soup Nazi?
The Soup Nazi episode.
You are the creator of the Soup Nazi.
I am a documentarian in this regard. I used to go to the real Soup Nazi in New York, this guy, Al Yegan, at 55th and 8th, while I was a writer at Letterman, and just took notes. You know, a lot of that episode really happened. When Elaine asks, you know, says to the Soup Nazi, you kind of look like Al Pacino. I saw a woman do that in real life, and he screamed at her. You know, I couldn't put the swears, the obscenities in the episode, but that really happened. When George is going in the very beginning, my friend Dave Hansen, who was also a writer on Letterman, was the one telling me about the Soup Nazi. I'm George in that scene. My first trip there is like, what are you talking about? I just want to buy some soup, and then I get the soup taken away. So, you know, it was a very liberating experience to go into Larry and Jerry and just tell them a story and say, just write it down and it's going to be an episode. And nobody's more surprised than me that we're talking about this right now. Frankly, I don't get it.
And there really was a guy.
There's a real guy. He's out there.
Is he still there?
I don't think he's still there. He's got a 200 restaurant franchise.
Really? Off that show?
Somebody approached him about doing a network of stores in the beginning, and I remember maybe 5 or 6 years ago the interviews popping up on YouTube because he would go on to CNN, and you know, eventually the anchor would say, "So they call you the Soup Nazi." Now he doesn't think that's funny. You know, like most normal people, he feels like maybe, you know, the world is, you know, calling me a Nazi. And it's not okay. So every time an anchor referred to him as the Soup Nazi from Seinfeld, he would start swearing at them. The videos are on YouTube are great. And the subsequent videos end up having a lawyer sitting next to him answering questions for him. He's the real deal, this guy. My version
How did he get away with it, working in a store to get away to insult customers? Huh?
He doesn't insult. He's just either you follow his orders or you don't get his soup. His soup is that good. His soup is that good. He would travel the world in the summer getting new recipes and come back with African peanut, and we'd all be waiting for it.
And
he would be abusing people in the line, and the line would turn away like this to pretend to not see it. They didn't want to witness this person who was being cast out of this society.
What would cause him to abuse you? What would you have to say?
Extraneous conversation, any other comments, indecision. You know,
you got to know what you wanted right away?
You got to know exactly what you want. You've got to say it in the shortest amount of words. He wants his order pithy, and then you've got to immediately step to the left. Anything else that you do, looking away, it's over. It's really over with this guy.
Does he make great soup?
It's fantastic. Why else would you put up with it?
Okay. You've had a great career.
Oh, thank you.
Do you ever want to go back to writing?
I'm writing something right now. Yeah, I just went out with a half hour that I sold to CBS, and it's just a pilot script. But
Sitcom?
Yeah, sitcom. Little idea I thought of over the summer and I brought out, and it's just a pilot script. We'll see if it goes somewhere. But I'm writing all the time. It's what I do first and foremost.
We play a little game of If You Only Knew. I'll just throw them at you.
Sure.
Okay, Spike? First person you kissed.
The first thing I kissed?
First girl.
Oh, first girl. Thank God. I don't want to answer that question. Probably my high school girlfriend, Amy.
First car you owned.
First car was a 1971 Ford Torino 500 that I shared with my brother, and he promptly wrapped around a telephone pole one weekend.
Did you see the movie Gran Torino?
I have not seen Gran Torino.
It was a good movie.
That is a great follow-up question.
First favorite current car, Porsche, right?
Yeah.
Automatic or stick?
I'm stick shift guy.
Favorite late show memory?
On Letterman? Probably getting to throw a bowling ball out of an 8-story window into a bathtub full of pudding and hitting it right in the middle, getting the bullseye.
Great everyday car for a family of 4.
Everyday car for a family of 4. I like the new Ford Explorer Sport for that car.
Great weekend car for Dad.
Weekend car for Dad. Budget, no option. The new Jaguar F-Type convertible.
Best fast car.
Best fast car. I would have to go with the Porsche 911 Turbo S. Killer.
Proudest career moment.
Proudest career moment. I've had several. This is one of them. I'm loving this moment. Let's just go with this moment.
Okay.
It's really fun.
Best place to just drive around.
PCH outside of Malibu and up in the hills.
You like that PCH, but it's so you get tied up. You're tied up forever.
6 in the morning.
Oh.
Cup of coffee. It's beautiful. It's open. It's empty.
What's your favorite thing about cars?
I like it relaxes me. If the car is right and it's a little hard to drive, it takes me out of my own head and my problems disappear.
Favorite car movie?
American Graffiti.
Who's more car savvy, Seinfeld or Leno?
Savvy? Well, I don't know. Who do I agree with more as far as car choices? Jerry. But Jay's incredible what he's doing. He's making his own cars at this point. You know?
Oh, yeah. Superpower you'd love to have?
I would like to have some sort of ray that comes out of my eyes that slows down late moms on my street. It stops them from speeding when they're, trying to get their kids to school.
I'd like to be invisible.
Yeah. Oh, that would be all right.
Favorite Boston athlete?
Geez, that's tough. I'd have to go back to somebody like Freddie Lynn from the Red Sox. I was a big fan of Freddie.
I knew Freddie when he played with the Orioles.
Yeah, we used to just play Freddie Lynn all the time, diving for balls.
Only guy ever to be Rookie of the Year and MVP same year.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
I know baseball.
I'm impressed.
Time travel or space travel?
Time travel, for sure. Yeah.
And favorite classic car?
Favorite classic car is the 1958 Porsche Speedster 356A.
You're a Porsche guy.
Yeah, they're little go-karts, They just deliver full satisfaction to me.
Spike, go get them, and good luck with everything you do, man.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for all those jokes about me. I want to thank my guest, Spike Feresten.
Larry King.
I want to thank my guest, Spike Feresten. Be sure to watch his show, Car Matchmaker, on the Esquire Network. It's on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. And remember, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things. See you next time.